Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to this video lecture series in which we are talking about neural networks and deep learning. So until in the previous video lecture, we have seen the as how to represent a neural network. But until in the previous video lecture, we were not knowing the internal computation that was performing inside a neural network. But in this video lecture that we are going to see that what is the internal computations that is going behind that is going inside this neural network. So let us continue in this lecture. So what we have studied in the previous video lecture is a very good example of a neural network, and on this example we have tried to understand that what is the input layer, what is the hidden layer, and what is the output layer. And further we have tried to understand some of the basic notations that we are going to use in this video lecture and a few more in that I would be uploading next. Okay, so you need to remember these notations while we are working on this video lecture also. So let us continue through this lecture. Okay, so now in this slide, we can see a very simple neural network that has only one layer. Okay, and that too, this layer has only one node. Okay, but you can see that it has an input feature vector x that comprises of three features as x1, x2, and x3, and these features are applied as an input to a node, and this node finally computes the output a, which is equal to y hat, and which we say as the predicted outcome of this neural network. Okay, now if you see inside an individual node, then this node is basically comprised of two parts. Okay, so the first part of this node calculates the value of z, and the formula for finding the value of z is w transpose x plus b. And the next part of this node, the second part, calculates the value of a. That is what we do, we apply this value of z to the sigmoid function, and finally it gives us the value of y hat, or the predicted outcome, or the value of a. Okay, and these are the two important formulas that we need to keep into mind while we are working with the neural network. Okay, so now let us continue. Okay, so now what you can see here on the right hand side or section of this slide is a very good neural network, but this neural network is somewhat the advanced version of the neural network of the left one. Okay, and suppose that if you see and take out one of the node of this neural network, and now suppose that I say to you that you need to have some representations in this neural network as we have done in the left hand side of the neural network. Okay, so while making out the equations for finding the value of z and a, so how you can write this equation for this first node? Okay, so our task is to write the value, write the equations of z and a for this first node in this layer. Okay, so basically what we can do is we have understood till now that this node is basically computing the output in the form of two parts. Okay, so the first part will find out the value of z, and then it will supply the value of z to the sigmoid function. Okay, this second part, and this second part will finally output the value of a, or the predicted outcome according to this node. Okay, this is specific node. Okay, so now if I want to write the equation of z for this node, so what my equation for z would be, z equal to W transpose X plus B. Okay, this is the basic equation that I write, but I also note that this node corresponds to the first layer of the neural network. So I'll have the notation as square bracket 1 here. Okay, and for B also I'll have a square bracket. Okay, now apart from this, I know that this is the layer from, this is the node from the first layer of this neural network, that is the first hidden layer, but also this layer, this node is the first node of this layer. Okay, so I need to represent that this is the first node. So how I will represent this, I'll represent as subscript 1 here. Okay, okay, so this is basically the notation that I want to teach you, that how we can write and mention z, the equation of z for this first node in this first layer. Okay, now let us see that what this second part of this node will perform. So basically this second part will give us the value of a. Okay, so now here the equation, what was the basic equation of a? The basic equation of a was a equal to, now we applied the sigmoid function, and inside the sigmoid function we input the value of z. Okay, now what this z will be? This z will be the z that we have obtained from here. Okay, and this z was basically from layer 1, and it was through the first node. So here also we'll write 1. And also one thing to note here, that this a is for the first node, and this first node belongs to the first layer. Okay, so here also I'll write 1 in the square brackets. Okay, so I hope how we can write z and a has been clearly understood over to you. Okay, and suppose that if you want to write some basic notation for writing the value of z and a. Okay, so I'll teach you a basic notation. Suppose that we have a here. Okay, and I suppose write some value bracket l here. Okay, and here I write the value I here. Okay, so what this square bracket l would tell us, it would tell us the layer on which we are working. Okay, so suppose that here we were working on the first layer of the neural network, so l was equal to 1. Okay, so this square bracket l term or the number would represent the layer in which we are working on the neural network. Okay, and what this I will tell us, this I will tell us the node in the new layer. Okay, this would tell us the node in the layer. So if I have written here z square bracket 1 and 1, then it is clear to us that we are working on the first layer of this neural network, and on the first layer we are taking the into consideration the first node of this layer. Okay, so for a l I, l represents the layer number and I represents that on which node we are working in this layer. Okay, so you need to keep this notation in mind while working in the future video lectures also. Okay, now let us continue and take one more example, so that this concept is a crystal clear to us. Okay, now take us consideration into the second node. Okay, one thing you can do is you can pause my video lecture for 2 and 3 minutes. Okay, and you can try it by yourself, finding the value of z and a for this node. Okay, and if you still have confusion, then I'm showing it to you also. Okay, so let us divide this node into two halves. Okay, so now we want to write the value of z for this. Okay, so what my basic equation was, z for z was z equal to w transpose x plus b. Okay, and I'm working on the first layer, so I'll write here as 1. Okay, now I'm working on which node? I'm working on the second node, so I'll write 2 in the subscript also. Okay, so this is the equation for z. Okay, and now I need to write the equation of a. Okay, so a equal to, I'll apply sigmoid function of z. Okay, and now I want to write the numbers in superscript and subscript. So I'm working on which layer? I'm working on first layer of this neural network. So square bracket 1, and on which node of the first layer? That is on the second node of this first layer. Okay, so it will be a12 equal to sigmoid of z of 1 2. Okay, so I hope this representation is a very simple representation, and hope all of you who have tried it by yourself, your answers would have been correct. Okay, so let us continue over to the next concept. Okay, now what you can see in this slide is the neural network that we have seen earlier in the previous slide. Okay, we have basically tried to write in a very clear way. Okay, these equation. Okay, so we have find out the value of z11, z12, z13 and z14. Okay, I have told you about how to write the equations for these two nodes. Okay, but you can also write the equation for third node and fourth node also. You can do it by yourself, or I have written this equation for the third and the fourth node for you. Okay, so what we need to do now is basically we need to implement the vectorization concept here. Okay, because ultimately we are not going to apply or solve these equation using for loops. Okay, because using for loops in such complicated equation would really be a hectic task for us. Okay, so we are going to use vectorization technique. It would give us a very good computation power. Okay, and it would use very less memory, as well as the computation time of neural network would be reduced drastically when we use vectorization technique. Okay, so all of you who don't have knowledge of the vectorization technique can see my previous video lecture. There I have tried to explain you that how we can use vectorization technique instead of using the for loops. Okay, and how our computation has now become effective by using the vectorization technique. Okay, so now what I can see here is, firstly break down this equation. Firstly take this equation, that is Z11 equals to W11 transpose X plus B11. Okay, firstly take these equations. Okay, these four equations of these four nodes in this layer. Okay, so what I can see that how I need to have some idea that how can I apply vectorization technique so that this multiplication or the dot product becomes easy for me to implement. Okay, so I can write, firstly I need to write this W11. Okay, there would be a vector that would be corresponding to this W11, W12, W13 and W14. Okay, that is we need to firstly create a vector or an array or an matrix. Okay, for this for these all four nodes. Okay, or for all these four parameters in all four nodes. Okay, so let me make this matrix for you. I'll explain each and every concept very efficiently. Okay, so now what I can write, I have this W11, W12, W1, W1, here I should write 2, W13, W14. Okay, so these are all the four nodes, and corresponding to these nodes we need to write these parameters. Okay, so an array is created for this, and further we need to have a transpose of this. Okay, because we need to have W transpose X, so we need to take a transpose of this individual W parameters also. Okay, so what will be my dimensions of this matrix? The dimension of this matrix would be 4 cross 3. Okay, and now if you want to learn about how this dimension 4 cross 3 came, you can watch my previous video lecture. There I have told you that how can we get this dimension 4 cross 3. Okay, 4 because we have four nodes in this layer and we are working on this layer only, and 3 because we have three input features. Okay, that is x1, x2 and x3, and this is how 4 cross 3 dimension matrix has been created for the parameter W. Okay, and then further what I want to do is I need to have a dot product of this parameter W with X. Okay, with input feature vector X. So I'll create a input feature vector X. Okay, so since I'm having a single training example in this neural network representation, so I'll represent it as a column vector. Okay, so these are my x1, x2, x3, that is the input feature vector X. And what is the dimension of this input feature vector? It is 3 cross 1 dimensional vector. Okay, also what I need to do is I need to add a base value, that is the B or the parameter B, to this dot product. Okay, so I'll create another column vector for this base value. Okay, this is my column vector, and what are the values? It would be B11, B12, B13 and B14. Okay, and what ultimately these dot products and addition would give us, this would give us the value of equation Z. Okay, so this would give us Z11, Z12, Z13 and Z14. Okay, because this would be W11 transpose plus X into X plus B1, W12 transpose into X plus B12. Okay, and that would be equal to Z11, Z12, Z13 and Z14. Also, we can represent this vector as Z11, Z12, this whole vector. We can represent it as Z1. Okay, because we are representing this vector of the input feature vector as X. Okay, X1, X2, X3. In the same way, we can represent this vector Z11, Z12, Z13, Z14 as Z1. Okay, now finally what we have done, that we have found the values of all these four equations. Okay, and what I need to do is I need to have a vector of these, that is this vector, and I should apply this vector in such a way that I need to create a sigmoid of these vector. Okay, why I need to create a sigmoid? Because after having the sigmoid of all these four elements, okay, I'll have the value of a1, a2, a3 and a4 for this particular layer. Okay, so for writing the values of a, I can write it as small a, and collaborated version could be written as small a superscript square bracket a, and that would be equal to, okay, this would be equal to a11, a12, a13, a14. Okay, and this would be ultimately equal to sigmoid of z of 1. Okay, I hope this much is understood over to you and there would have been no problem. Okay, because I've tried to explain this concept in as simple as possible. Okay, now let us move to the next slide. Okay, so until in the previous slide, what we have done is we have basically tried to find out the value of Z1, A1, Z2 and A2. And what were the dimensions of these equations? These equations were, for example, Z1 was a 4,1 dimensional matrix. Okay, this W parameter, the matrix that we have made for this parameter W was 4 cross 3 matrix. Okay, this X was 3 cross 1 matrix and this B was 4 cross 1 matrix. Okay, similarly when we were taking out the value of activation function A1, so this was 4 cross 1 matrix and this Z1 was also 4 cross 1 matrix. Similarly, if we need to find the dimensions of the matrix of equation Z2 and A2, then the dimension were 4 cross 1, W2 was 4 cross 3. Here A1, what was the dimension of A1? It was 4 cross 1. Sorry. Okay. One thing I need to correct is that the matrix, the dimension of this W2 would be 1 cross 4. Okay. And B2 was 1 cross 1. Okay, what were my dimensions of A2? A2 was 1 cross 1. And finally, Z2, on which we are applying the sigmoid function, was of the dimension 1 cross 1. Okay, and what we were doing is we were having the parameters W2 and B2 corresponding to this second layer. Okay, W2 and B2 corresponding to this second layer. Okay, and this output Y can also be written as A2. Okay, and instead of writing, suppose we were representing x1, x2, x3 by an input feature vector X, and instead of writing this X, we can write this as A of 0 also. Okay, this could be a new representation as a of 0, and in this equation instead of writing x we can write as a of 0 also. So there would be a common representation because here we are writing a of 1, so here also we can write a of 0 instead of writing x. Okay, so this in this way, using the vectorization technique, we have seen that how the internal computation of a neural network actually works. Okay, and whatever the work is done by the hidden layer, basically that we will program in the next few video lectures also. Okay, so I hope this much would have been clearly understood over to you. I hope this video lecture is very much informative to you. Like my video lecture, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and to the ones who are learning neural networks and deep learning, then these video lectures I hope are very much informative to you. Thank you so much.